I talk briefly on um, accident. All right, just permit me. I'm trying to get something out here. So all this we have discussed in the morning. So in this afternoon, we're going to talk on um, audits, safety audit. It's very important in HSE. You're already through with HSE 1. So it's just a continuation with this HSE, with the HSE 2, all right? So we're going to cover audit and in an organization, I said earlier that a very good safety officer, there is no matter how perfect the place of work is, what you are after is you are looking at the problem that you deem fit to find solution for or to. So when you are in an organization, there are organizations that seems or that appears safe, very safe. I'm telling you, very safe. But when you are a professional, there is no way either 0.1% or 0.5% you still identify a particular hazard that could cause problem, either attitude of unsafe attitude you have seen, or unsafe condition, or any hazardous condition, you can identify that. And if for you to be a very good safety man, you should be able to identify hazard. There are three concepts or four thereabouts. Please listen very well. First one, you must identification of hazard is very important. Identification of hazard, like we have said, we've mentioned types of hazard. You'll be able to identify hazard, the type of hazard you identify. And you should be able to evaluate that particular hazard. That's what I explained in the morning. You should be able to, and when you identify hazard, is it a physical hazard? Is it a chemical hazard? Is it a biological hazard? Is it a economic hazard? So when you are able to identify hazard, then it is then you can take a step further to evaluate that particular hazard. So you must evaluate, you must identify, you evaluate. So evaluation now is okay, I have identified physical hazard, and the type of physical hazard I identified in my place of work is noise, because of nature of my work. Now, if I identify noise, then I should be able to evaluate further, take a further step. Like, okay, this thing that I've identified, how can it affect us? Okay, is it through the impact? Is it going to the route of which it will affect us? Is it through impact? Is it through contact? Is it through absorption? Is it this, it is that? It is then you can now say, okay, after you have evaluated, then you can now bring about what are the control measures that you need to put in place, that this thing, this hazard that you have identified after evaluation, what are the control measures that you have to put in place that your workers will be okay and they'll be able to carry out their job function without any problem. Okay, so that's what will now lead us to audit. All right, so you must be able to audit the unsafe act audit. That will lead us to unsafe act audit. You know, I said the other time that we talk on. Can you please help us to move? Okay, let me move this there. All right, sorry. So be able to work. Hello? Do you have any question? All right, thank you. So in this afternoon, we're going to talk on safe art audit. On safe art audit. And we're going to talk on it, and after we discuss that, we can take a further step if we still have enough time, but we're not going to talk much this afternoon, all right, because it's afternoon time. All right. So unsafe act audit. So in an unsafe act audit now, an unsafe act audit is a scheduled inspection. All right. It's a scheduled inspection on what you're doing. Inspection in a place of work. As a safety officer, you need to inspect, you need to move around. And what are you checking? You check the attitude. Okay, you check the attitude of your staff, you check the attitude of your staff, you check the attitude now can be attached to unsafe acts. You check the unsafe condition of the work environment. Okay, all these, when you walk around the workplace, then you'll be able to know which areas, okay, that needed attention, okay, or that will call for recognition, or that we need to advise the management upon, okay, on the attitude or the way they communicate to each other. All these you actually check, okay, when you are carrying out your unsafe act audit. Okay, so now unsafe act audit, the intention now is to promote. Okay, intention is to promote, improve, and maintain good safety performance. Okay, good safety performance. Now, when you talk of good safety performance, you'll be able to identify attitude. Like I said the other time, what you have identified, the hazard you have identified, it could be a psychological hazard, it could be an economic hazard, it could be a physical hazard, it could be any, it could be attitude. Okay, so you'll be able to identify this to promote their performance at work. Just to identify that you are not wish hunting, you are trying to get to look at what are the things that they are doing wrong, or they are not doing perfectly well, or what are the things they are doing now that could cause problem tomorrow. And anything that has problem, that will cause problem, will actually alter the the productivity in that company. And if productivity is affected, there's no way they can make money. All right. Then you on safe act audit too, you need to have a very good record of their past, or the past record in that organization, the accident record, maybe in a particular unit, maybe in a welding, or in office, or the other department. What are the past, from the record you have with you or in your file? Okay, maybe the safety officer that will be working there, or what has happened 5 years, okay, so that you prevent the recurrence of such. Okay, and you discover that what can be responsible for the happening in the future, and in the past, maybe the attitude they portrayed then, maybe the type of attitude, they are still in such a attitude. Okay, so you can make recommendation to the management. Is part of your duty as a safety officer, so that if there's a way they can improve, or maybe the workers actually need welfare and some other things that they need to be added to their welfare to make them be more safety compliance. Now, then if you are able to determine that the record, past record, then we'll be able to prevent the occurrence of that accident that occurred. The fact that accidents occur for some years past does not mean that such cannot repeat itself. Or you have a neighbor that carry out same operation nearby that had an accident in certain department or unit, then that can still repeat in your own company or your organization. So what you do is to make sure you prevent your company from having such an accident, either now or in the future. Now, unsafe act audits are a positive means, okay, by which performance can be further improved upon. All right, they are actually structured an effective way of preventing accidents and controlling safety hazard. Can be safeties. You know, I told you safety hazard. We have fire. You have all these slip, trip, and fall. We have electrical, and so on and possible. And this objective, the objective of objective of safety audit is majorly to increase safety awareness. Now, when we talk of safety awareness, we mention safety as awareness. In that regard, you are trying to improve on the safety culture. Okay, when there's safety awareness, you will improve. That will help you to improve on safety culture of that particular organization. Now, when you talk of safety culture means everyone will be responsible and accountable to safety. Okay, everyone will be responsible and accountable to safety. There's what we call ABC in safety culture. ABC, A means antecedent. Okay, A means antecedent, antecedent, ANTECE, you know, antecedent, and then B means behavior. Okay, and you have C is consequence. ABC, that is ABC in safety culture. Okay, antecedent, behavior, and the consequence. Now, when you talk of antecedent, that's the way they behave in the past. Okay, and when you now work on their past behavior, correct a lot of behavior, and that correction is not just what you just talk to, or you just tell them with no. There are a lot of actions that are carried by a safety officer. Okay, whoever that is doing this, there are rules and regulations that they must follow. It's a must. That is why a safety officer has power in an organization to even send anybody off the job. Okay, if you are not doing whatever is right. Okay, so we have the power as the safety officer, because your life is very important, the life of workers are very important, and the reputation of that particular company is very important. So the antecedent, the behavior, and the consequence. The consequence now is after the person has changed, you have a positive consequences. The consequences now is everyone is what? Everyone is now safe. All right. So I said, what brought about that now? I said one of the major objective of safety audit is to increase safety awareness. Okay. Then another one is to raise standards. All right. Raise standard. All right. If someone is doing something that is below the acceptable standard, as the way you can see it, someone that is not wearing his PP very well, you have to talk to that person. You are encouraging the person to do the right thing, maybe through induction. And if you see some kind of attitude that are dangerous, you call them, you talk to them as a brother or as a sister, and you'll be able to comply. But if they continue with that, that person can be, can be dealt with. Okay. All right. Then you have, and when you talk of the object of safety audit is to make sure you promote communication and understanding. You promote communication and understanding. You need to, whoever that is working, the supervisor, the worker, the employee, the safety man, has to interact from time to time. Okay, need to interact from time to time. Safety communication. Okay, and safety communication means both the receiver, the sender, and the receiver will align with one goal, and the goal is everybody is accountable for safety. The goal is everybody must respect this HSE statement or HSE policy. There's HSE policy for organization. Okay, every organization should have HSE policy. There's a way you write HSE policy for organization, but it's not part of our curriculum. I'm just mentioning that for us to understand. And that one to motivate, it improves it improve employees, the subordinate. It will motivate them to do their job, because when you communicate, when the manager relates with the supervisor and the supervisor relate with the employee very well, to make sure that the work is done seamlessly without any form of accident, you can see that there will be improvement. Okay, and of course, to improve the attitude of everyone. That's the major goal, the major objective, to improve the cultural attitude towards safety. All right, towards safety. So now, regular audit now, it should be based on the premise that resources, the resources should be able, or should be made available. There are resources that should be made available, and the essence of it is what is just for you to identify hazard and eliminate hazard before accident or any incident could occur. Okay, and of course, when you are any accident, any hazard you identify, definitely you prevent accident from occurring. Is when you fail, okay, or when a safety officer failed to identify hazard and do correction as appropriate, that is when you see accident occurring. In fact, safety as a profession is a proactive measure. Proactive simply means prevention. What are the preventive measures? Okay, that is what safety is all about. If you have a place in an organization where safety is talk of the day, where everyone is safety culture, and everyone is has a safety culture there, and everyone is conscious of safety, you see that such an organization can be for the next 20-30 years, there may be no accident at all, because Mr. A, Mr. B, everyone is accountable and responsible to safety. And you can see such safety personnel that is involved there, that will be controlled, that will be strategic CCTV strategized in some strategic places in the place of work. Not only that, there will be walkabout. Workers the safety officer will have to walk about the place of work with his pad and the pen. All right, if there is any issue, okay, and of course, from time to time there will be safety meeting, okay, with the department. Depends on the job function, what they are actually carried out there. So there's need for regular inspection. And let me tell us, apart from attitude, the major work of safety is directed to the factors of production. Those factors were itemized before, that I discussed before: the personnel, the environment, the equipment, and the materials. Those are the major things you look at when you are carrying out your inspection. You need to check the surrounding, the environment. You need to check the equipment they are working with. You need to check the personnel. The personnel means their attitude. You need to check their attitude. And you need to check the materials they are working. Everything you have to check. Their position, their posture, the kind of work they are doing, how they position themselves. All these things you check. So safety audit we actually monitor all activities performed on site. Okay, fine. And the guideline, what will guide you? What will guide you is the safety policy of that organization. And if a worker is employed, a worker, all of them, they'll go to an induction, they'll give them induction. They have to talk to them, the nitty-gritty, the rules and regulations in that particular organization, the ethics of that particular organization. They talk to them, the ethics, what you should not do. So that's why there's always HSE statement, policy statement, where everyone in organization is subjected or more subject to that. All right, and through that, everybody will be conscious of safety. All right, so now we monitor all activities performed at work. All right, and in particular, like I said, the basic safety policy and of the organization. All right. Then management commitment is very important when you are talking of resources as related to unsafe at audit. Management commitment. There's what we call, though it's more advanced, there's what we call horizon vertical concept. Horizon vertical concept. Okay, horizon vertical concept. That means from the top to least, from the least employee to the top. And the horizontal now is for the community and the community, you know, and maybe you have a contract, there are companies, maybe you sublet, your company sublets a contract too. All of them are functioning under the safety policy of a particular company. If you have a Shell now, Shell is working and sublet is a contract to a particular, maybe the WHO. Okay, the WHO too cannot work against the safety policy of a Shell. Okay, so the Shell should come from top, the policy should come from top to the least. That's vertical, and it will now digress to the, you know, to the horizontal by affecting the host community and the WHO. That means the other company that the job is being sublet to. All of them must obey the safety policy of a particular company. Then another thing is the administration and safety activity has to be respected. Then we have accident reporting and investigation. Okay, accident reporting and investigation. You see, when accidents occur, you know, I told us the other time that accident, okay, accident is what is a sudden unplanned event or planned event, okay, that actually might result into injury, property damage, and even fatality in a place of work. That's what you know about accidents. And I told us that you have a record, you work with the trend, the record in the past. So that will now guide you on what you have to do, or the area in the place of work that is more prone to accidents. Okay, that area in the place of work that is more prone to accidents, it will guide you on how to protect the reoccurrence of that particular accident in the future, so that such thing will not, such accident will not occur again. Okay, and most accidents are prevented when you actually work on the near miss. Only I don't want to talk because of our time. This is a professional, all right? I don't want to, because of our time. You know why? Before you can protect accident don't just occur. It is caused by human error or omission, okay? And when you talk of accident, before you can say this is accident, okay, series of near misses would have occurred in the past that was not being corrected. So if there are incidents in the past, okay, that are not corrected, like a near miss, okay, or any other thing that actually happened, but there is no injury, no property damage, okay, because there is nothing of such. Some company or some organization we just shy away with it. They don't even send. Okay, that same thing that did not cause problem today can lead to death tomorrow. So it is better that when people experience near miss, the best is to quickly correct it so that it will not translate to accident in the future. It's very important. All right. So accident reporting and investigation is part of what you audit, okay, so that it will, what happened in the past will not repeat itself. The safety committee too. There must be safety committee in your organization that will deliberate. They will deliberate from time to time the safety of the organization. And that is why in some organization, if there is no accident in a particular month or in a specific time in a year, they are given bonus to motivate them. Okay, they are given bonus. Some company even monetize it. Some will change it to materials. They give them flat screen like Lafarge or some other. They give them gift Today, they are healthy high. That's a lost time injury is 0. Though we still get there. Nothing like lost time injury, blah blah blah. They give them no injury, no nothing. So why they are giving them is not that they like spending money. They just give them just to motivate, so that they'll be able to be more safety conscious in the future. All right. Then, of course, what you check, like I said the other time, the operating procedure. The operating procedure, what are the procedure? How do you carry out your work? Is it safe or not? If they are carrying out the procedure, if the procedure is not safe, like I was trying to explain to us the other time, someone wanted to weld in a space that you have a product before. Okay, in a confined space, you have a product before, and the place would have been charged with a product, with fumes. Okay, you can't just go there because the place is charged already. So there are procedures for doing such a job. If not, the people there just lost their lives. Okay, there are procedures because explosion could occur. All right. So now, for example, in that kind of situation, they need to what? They need to put there's what you call there's an indicator, gas indicator or gas detector, okay, that would detect the place if the place is secured or not. Okay, the gas detector will tell us that, okay, oh, this place is charged. Oh, this place you can walk there, or you cannot walk. You cannot walk there. Okay, so the gas detector is the one to encourage. Okay, then before the issue of gas, you have to know, are we going to introduce water to improve it? After that, after we have introduced water, then are we going to vent it so that air can come in for so period of time into that confined space by opening the vent, you know, the flange in both sides, so that when air come in, it would have diffused, okay, the fumes there. Okay, so that break the bond and make it more safer. All right, and then from there you now say, okay, well, let's go there to take a gas. Let's take a gas detector to there. Okay, and the kind of gas detector you use is an explosive meter. An explosive meter is very important. As a safety officer, you may still embark on that particular journey in the future. Okay, an explosive meter must be put in place. So the explosive meter will now tell you, is the gas detector, to know that the place is safe for you to do your job or not. So that's a safety operating procedure in that respect, okay, that people must follow. And of course, safety work permit too. There's what we call safety work permit. There is work permit, there is hot work permit. For those that are welders, we have cold work permit, you have electrical work permit, you have a confined space permit. You as a safety, one of your duty as a safety officer to give work permit to whoever that want to work in your place of work or in your organization. Or if your organization is to work in another place, there are safety officers there who will attend to you and give you work permit. That means they have allowed you to work. A work permit is just is a document authorize you to carry out the job function that you want to carry out. They will ask you a lot of questions as related to the tools that you want to use, the material that you want to use, how professional are you, and how experienced are you before you can do the job. What are the equipment you have? What do you have fire extinguishers? What kind of fire extinguisher do you have? If you have fire extinguishers, how do you operate it? Do you have people in place that can do the job? All these things they ask you. All right. Another thing is you should be able to know the emergency procedures, okay, in an organization. If an emergency occurs, what and what should be done is part of the resources that there are a lot of resources. That is one of the resources you actually consider. And we equally have, there are safety principles and fact. I think I've explained this to us. The principles, that's why I mentioned 88% of accidents, you know, is as a result of unsafe acts, blah, blah, blah. And if it is not safe, that means it is not right. There is no way about it. There is no shortcut about it. All right. If it is not safe, that means it is not right. So that is why Though safety officer, there's room for you to be flexible, okay? But majorly, most safety officers are very rigid. For those that are in company here can bear me witness, because they are the people, people's attitude to work is very difficult to change. So in that, there is rigidity in what? In safety, okay? Because everything has to be right, and your procedure has to be right, your attitude has to be right. You don't just do things anyhow at the detriment of the image of that particular organization. Your error cannot cause problem to the company. Imagine company that is set up with 2 billion naira or 20 billion naira, and someone, because of his nonchalant attitude or lackadaisical approach to work, and just set the place on fire. Okay, do you think the company will be able to recover just like that? No. So that is why the attitude, no matter how minute, no matter how little your wrong attitude is, it must be right. So that is why safety is very important, and working on people's attitude to get the right thing. So people are the most critical elements in the success of a safety management. People. That's why, it's part of production. I told us that the very first thing you look at are the personnel. So people are very critical element when it comes to safety management. So it takes time. Okay, you need to train and retrain, train and retrain from time to time to really put in them positive attitude, positive behavior, to get positive consequences to work, and that will actually get with that they'll be able to get good results. Of course, accident prevention is actually loss prevention. Okay, you need to, when you prevent accident, that means you are preventing loss. That's why they say accident prevention is loss prevention. Okay, the cost of repairs, treatment, everything is reduced. Okay, because early you see whoever that will be having a accident, and when people are having accidents in a place of work, the money you use to address accidents will be taken from the profit. And if accident is incessant, if it continue occurring, the company will soon fold up. Like I said earlier, the reputation of the company will be at stake. So accident prevention is part of the safety principles you look at when you are talking of audit. Now, no job is so important that can be done at the expense of safety. No job. Another principle is no job is so important that it can be what? It can be done at the expense of safety. You don't just work and get results without considering the safety of your workers, the safety of the environment where you work. The workers, very important. I work in a place whereby workers were forced to carry out compressed natural gas in Benin, and we are using 8 mm, the pipe that they want to use, and 4 mm and 8 mm. Okay, and you now discover that the person that working there before allow the workers to be just employ some youth in that community to be carrying such a pipe with their hands. Okay, though they gave them what is your hand glove, but it's wrong. When I got there, I discovered that no, this I have to stop work. Okay, and they have to introduce a crane like I have. The crane will be the one to take it down from the truck down to where they will do their job. That will be too much. That will lead to a very serious accident. So, but some people just want results. Like I told you the other time, some just want result, anyhow result. But as a safety officer, the result, they must follow the safety rules. So there's no job that is so important that cannot be done. That can be done at the expense of safety. Safety is very important. That's why we said in a slogan, in safety slogan, please take note of this, because you are now becoming a safety officer gradually. Safety, we will say, if safety is expensive, try accidents. Okay? if safety is expensive, try accident. So if accident occur, it's not good to learn safety through accident. So now, then why risk exists? Accident and injuries are preventable. Okay. Now, when you talk of hazard and risk, they actually work together. Hazard is actually told us anything that can result into accident. I just want you to get a concept. Okay. Risk is when you put hazard into action. Okay. You've already someone now who has a car and he has a faulty brake. Okay, if the brake is faulty, he has identified that brake to be an hazard. It's faulty. Now, when you now put that brake, that car into action, you start the ignition and you want to move from one point to another with a faulty brake. That person is putting that hazard into action, and that is what actually considered to be what? To be a risk. Okay. Now, safety is everybody's business. Okay, it's not meant for only safety officer. That is why we said safety is a collective responsibility. Whoever that is dealing with tools, with equipment, that is have an interaction with the environment, of course, we make sure that we must address safety so that the reputation of that particular organization is improved upon. All right. Then management has a lot of roles to play when it comes to safety. All right. Because management is responsible for preventing and controlling injuries and occupational illness in the place of why we say management. You know, management commitment actually will encourage you. I've seen a lot of situations of students in the past that will ask me questions that, what about their organization? Their management, they just get safety department just like that, but they are not obeying safety rules and regulations, and they are paying them very well. No, you are there, whatever you see that or you have noticed that is not good, that can dent the image of the organization or that can result into accident, this and that, you need to put it, because your power as a safety officer is black and white. You must have a document. Okay, the document that will categorically spell out problems, that will categorically give recommendation. You have to give recommendation as appropriate. Okay, recommendations should be given to your organization, okay, as per what you have identified that is very wrong. You know, I said the other time, you should be able to identify, you should be able to evaluate, you should be able to put about control measures. Okay, you have to put about control measures. And of course, when problems happen, the next thing is how to recover from what has happened. I mean, business continuity. Though business continuity is a professional course on its own that will cost you up to 350,000 naira anyway. Then we have a management should be responsible. Then all the workplace accidents should be investigated. Okay, and then when you investigate, I've said it the other time, you are just looking for fact. You are looking for fact to prevent the reoccurrence of such accidents. Okay, fact. All right. It's not to wish shunt anyone. It's just to get the information to help your organization prevent the occurrence of that particular accident. That could be more. The cost could be more than what the recent one has cost your organization. So then training. Another safety principle you look at here, training is an essential element for safe workplace practice. There must be training. That's why I said you need to train and retrain, okay, workers. So that why are you retraining all the time? So that you want to imbibe in them, okay, is a safety attitude, so that every one of them will have a safety attitude in place. The essence of unsafe audit. Now, there are techniques for conducting unsafe art auditing. There are techniques of carrying out this, and have five. There are a lot of five. We have five. Number one is preparation. You must prepare. Okay. Number two is observation. Number three, discussion. You must have a record, and you must follow up. Okay. Now, in view of reaching in preparation, Now, in view of reaching the aim, the objective as we have described earlier, every unsafe act, audit should be carefully prepared. You must have a questionnaire. You have to establish a questionnaire for each activity. By audit is not carried out by one person. You have an audit team. You must have a questionnaire, and the questionnaire have to be approved by the company management. And of course, as HSE, there is hierarchy. You have your HSE manager who you report to. And the safe act questionnaire will also include questions on general organization, the management, and training. So the questionnaire will prepare you, on what to do. The audit should be carried out, like I said, frequently and regularly, aiming for a total of 1 or 2 hours per week, per person. Please take note of that, please. A total of 1 or 2 hours per week per person. So this time should be devoted closely to safety inspections and not combined with other activities. It's basically safety inspection. Then another one is observation. Now, while carrying out, you need to stop. Yes, you need to stop. As you're working, you need to stop. You need to observe. You need to stop, observe the work environment in progress, and decide on what to do, act on it, and report. Are you getting it now? Must carry out an unsafe act. You must stop, observe the work environment and the work activity in progress. And immediately you decide on what to do, act on it, and report. Of course, you have to concentrate. Your concentration should be on the action of people. It's very important. Why action of people? I've told us that the major cause that unsafe attitude of people actually result into 88% of cause of accident in an organization. Then you have to develop a questioning attitude to determine what injuries, might occur if the unexpected happens, or how it will affect the job, or better ways of doing the job. Are you getting that? You have to give a recommendation on better ways to do the job. You'll be able to respect, to know what to do to make sure that the job is carried out well without any iota of fear. Are you getting it now? So now you must develop a questioning attitude. Now, I mentioned earlier, I talk of a psychological hazard. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. I think I had mentioned psychological hazard earlier. So psychological hazard, when you develop a questioning attitude, will help you to determine what exactly has happened to that particular workers. He might lose concentration. Maybe he has a negative home front. Are you getting it now? Maybe he's having problem at home. School fees, his this thing is having issue, blah, blah, blah. And before you know it, his context will just change suddenly. And that can claim the person's life. Depends on the kind of work that you are doing. If it's someone that is handling an equipment like an excavator, like crane, like a short boogie, like a side boom, and some other equipment, that person operating and just have a problem. Before you know it, the person has killed someone. Because what? Because he's having psychological problem. But when you now discover that the body language is not okay, you stop the job. Go to the person, ask him questions. Hope there is no problem. Are you fine? This and that. So from there, you'll be able to stable his mind. And if you discover that the man is not even is not coordinated, there's no coordination in what he's doing or his body language, what you do now is what is to stop the job. If not, that man will cause havoc there. I'm telling you, it will cause problem. That's why in a place of work, you are in a well-organized company. You have a psychologist, you have occupational health, you have a safety officer. But your own is to make sure that you identify those problems and quickly work on it. All right. So discussion. After there is discussion. After observation, you have to discuss. You interact with workers and find out how the job can be done more safely. That's if you discover the way they are doing their job is not okay. You have a brief meeting with them and tell them this is the issue, this is what is happening. Because it's not about being, I told you the other time, it's not about being rigid. You have to be more flexible to get the attention of your workers and get their mind set. So, and then of course you have to itemize what you have discussed for further actions. Okay, to know for further actions and follow up. Follow up is very important. Okay, now the audit. Following the audit, a report should be issued containing, a description of all your findings. If you want to write your report, all your findings, you have to describe all your findings, what you have discovered, what you have found. Then you have to describe and if there is any defect, okay, that you have already defect either on equipment or any the materials they are working with. Your focus is just the like I said, your focus is just the 4 factors in production, in safety. Okay, then you have to, maybe you now know, okay, after you have already carried, you have to find a way to revise the operating instruction, okay, the company standard. You need to hold meeting with them. You have to revise it. You have to work on it. Then you must have agreed target date for completion of your audit. All right, completion of your audit. You may do that. Maybe let me audit. I want to audit a particular department. Maybe I want to audit a welding department where they are doing their welding. I have to go there. I have to audit it. I have to know what kind of work they are doing, their attitude. Are they using their PPE very well? What are the procedures? Is their equipment, does it have guard? The grinding machine, does it have a guard? If there is no guard, I have to stop that work and make sure guard is in place. Okay, you need to check their cutting disc is in a good order. All this you check in an organization, in a company. Okay, then a company and the audit report you have now, you have to send it either to the management of that company. We have one, and the management of that particular section or unit should be able to know your recommendation, what you have. Okay, you need to give them, this is what you have seen, this is the way to go about it, this is how to do it. Okay, and the last but not the least is you have to follow up. Now, follow up is your recommendation. What you give, it will now function as a new recommendation for that organization. They check the recommendation and they start working on it. You have to follow up by monitoring the approved safety audit recommendation. All right, in an important activity, you must improve on, you must follow up. Okay, that's the essence. You must follow up because our people are very difficult to control. People are very difficult to control. They'll say, you can go, John, and only God will save us here. No. Okay, it is a must that everyone should respect safety and health accordingly. All right, then the unsafe act. We have unsafe act audit team too, because we're going to talk on unsafe act, just unsafe act this afternoon, and then we'll move on. You must have portray a good quality. Unsafe act audit team must have a good quality. Okay, must be a good observer. All the 6 organs must be working. Okay, and you should not, you must be a person of integrity. You don't compromise. That's why I said the only friend you have in an organization is the rules and regulation. The only friend you have in an organization is the policy. Because if you compromise the policy of organization, you have lost your power, you have lost your authority. Okay, then you have to be safety conscious. Then you must record observation systematically. Systematically, you should be able to get your observation very well. Okay, then if you don't, you don't have to be satisfied with overview impressions. You know, because some people may have impression this and that. No, no, no. You just make sure that you follow due process to make sure that everyone are in tune with the safety stuff. And of course, you must know what to do, what to look for. You must know what to look for. And I've already make it known to us that what you are looking for is the attitude of the personnel, the procedure they back upon in carrying out their job, the environment where they work, the equipment that they used to work, and the materials that they used to work with is very important. And then look, keep asking. You ask why. Okay, why? What if something happened? What do you do? How do you go about it? All these questions you actually ask, and this call for answer, because some people believe, like someone who has been driving for a very long time and is not using safety belts and is involving a speed, you know, and is not involved in an accident. One day it will result, if he had an accident, that may claim his life. So you ask why. Okay, what if you're in the process of traveling? What if you have a bus tire? What will happen? Okay, what if this happen? What if this so you ask such questions, they'll be able to answer you. Then you'll be able to talk to them and take more insightful steps about that. All right, so that's the lecture we have for this afternoon. And if there is any questions, please kindly ask so that we can move on. I can attend to you till tomorrow. They will now continue. Any question, please?
Sir, can you give us